What's going on, guys? Make Electric. It's Friday, August 31st, 2012. I want to do a video response to F-Town, otherwise known as GlobalDivisions, here on YouTube regarding this. LAPD says there's active terror plots linked to Iran, Hezbollah, and sovereign citizens. If you guys haven't heard about this yet, I'll link it below. CBS Los Angeles. Senior police officials on Wednesday warned of potential terrorist attacks in Southern California amid growing risk of war breaking out overseas. Let's see here. They're saying there's a number of active plots in the Southland. The department is currently tracking government of Iran operatives, Hezbollah, sovereign citizens, homegrown violent extremists, and animal rights groups, and others. Hezbollah agents may initiate attacks locally if war erupts between the U.S. and Iran. Interesting article that CBS has put out here. And of course I'll put a link to F-Town's video. He's got some good thoughts on it. But I want to take it in a different direction. I want to link you over to a couple of Operation Blackjack slides. I haven't done Operation Blackjack stuff in a while. Thankfully it hasn't happened yet. I hope it never does. For those of you who don't know, Operation Blackjack is a fictitious slideshow that ran in the Telegraph back in 08, 09, somewhere in that depicted a multiple city nuclear attack. If you know the TV series Jericho, I would highly recommend you review that show if you have not. I believe it's on Netflix, last I heard. Runs along the same plot line. Multiple city terrorist attack in the United States. They blame a number of, in both Blackjack and Jericho, I know Jericho specifically blames domestic militia, anarchist, religious extremists, if I'm not mistaken. And here I'm going to link a slide from Operation Blackjack. A coalition of homegrown extremists, Islamists, and Christian doomsday cultists may have acquired the means to carry out a mass casualty attack. The link below that will be the next slide. Such a strike may take the form of biological, chemical, or even a nuclear attack in one of the main population centers. Under that, I'm going to go ahead and link all these links together from Operation Blackjack. Police and security forces raid known militants. In the past few months, we've seen a lot of raids, especially overseas. There's been quite a few in Europe. I've done videos on these. So I'm going to put that. I'm also going to put another link because I remember on Monday's show with Jeff Weber, blog TV show, he brought up the fact that we know that the New World Order and whatever you want to call it is sooner or later going to put the clamps down on the internet and the alternative media. And to anybody in alternative media, we are just dominating. You know, more and more people are turning to alternative media for their news. And I gotta say, just on a side note, awesome work to everybody. If you just so much as share links around the internet, you're part of the alternative media, and I salute you. And there's thousands of sites and forums, and YouTube is just a very small part of it. There's sites all over the internet. The alternative media is springing up more and more every day. So I'm going to put a link here because Jeff brought up a good point about how the alternative media, well, we're all possible domestic terrorists as well. If you say anything outside of the government-controlled mainstream propaganda box, then you're possibly a domestic terrorist. Somebody the Department of Homeland Security needs to watch. But here's another slide from Operation Blackjack that I found interesting. There is considerable evidence that some internet chat rooms, alternative websites, and other forums were used by the perpetrators of the attacks to coordinate their actions. To prevent further use of the web for these purposes, steps are being taken by regulatory authorities to monitor and prevent unpatriotic abuse of digital communications. Now, you can't tell me that's not coming. A number of times in recent days, they've tried to regulate the internet, to include letting the United Nations control the internet. All of this has failed so far because of the alternative media, because when something happens, we make it viral all over the internet. Again, hats off to everybody who's involved. But I'll put a link to that slide, because sooner or later, if you're not familiar with Operation Blackjack, I would really recommend going through it just to kind of... It is a fictitious slideshow, I'll say that right now. But everything that goes on in this slideshow, this 5-part slideshow, is everything we've been talking about for years now. From the New World Order to the RFID chip. It's all covered. So, including the North American Union. I will put links to the full slideshow on the Telegraph's website. It is kind of slow to thumb through all the slides there, so the video is also on YouTube. I'll put a link to it, although you'll have to pause it. That was back when YouTube had a 10-minute time limit, so it goes by rather fast. You have to pause it to read all the slides. But anyway, also recommend Jericho, Season 1, Season 2. 22 episodes, Season 1, 7, Season 2. It's not hard to get through the whole thing. I could do it in 24 hours straight. But anyway, I digress. Let me go back to the original point of this video, which is this CBS article. I just wanted to make some connections between this article and Jericho and Blackjack, and I just wanted to say, we're coming up on another anniversary of 9/11. More and more people have woken up to what really happened that day. I'm not going to get into that right now. Evidence is all over the internet if you want to investigate 9/11 for yourself. I highly recommend, if you have not done that. Or if you're looking at the current administration and you're seeing through all the lies and you're starting to come over to the alternative media side, consider reviewing what happened on 9/11. Because 9/11 was the acceleration point for all of this. And all of the people down at the RNC who think you're going to vote them out, I can't believe America is even paying attention to that crap. They're way beyond that point. If you haven't figured out that the President of the United States, no matter who they are, is just an actor reading a teleprompter, reading the script that he's given to read. If you haven't figured that out, time is short for you. You need to really research this stuff. As it turns out, a few years back, a lot of people called us crazy. The same people that were calling us crazy now, a lot of them are hanging out in our chat rooms because they've started to see. And I salute you if you've come around to see what's really going on in this country and in this world, and who really runs things. The President of the United States controls nothing at all. Nothing. He's an actor. This country's been hijacked by the New World Order, by the banksters, the Federal Reserve. So anyway, I'm sorry I've gotten all off onto another subject, but I really wanted to make you aware of this story that the CBS Los Angeles is running, and I'll put all these links that I discussed below. Please rate the video. Please pass the information around. They're talking about domestic terrorists, sovereign citizens, and animal rights groups. What? No. No. Rest assured, if there is some other false flag attack, I believe it's coming any day. It could happen anytime. If something does happen, it's not sovereign citizens, it's not animal rights groups, it's not homegrown extremists, it's the New World Order. It's the same people that perpetrated and carried out 9/11. Let's get it right this time. I think enough people are awake. We just might be able to get it right this time. And please consider going back and looking at 9/11 if you haven't done so already. That's all I got. You guys have a good weekend. Take care. Stay safe.